All right, how we doing today? So today is, actually I think it's Tuesday. I got fired today. Actually, I got fired yesterday. And, I wasn't really sure if I got fired yesterday until I found out and I went into work today. Now, this is a good start. So I didn't meet a friend, but I knew a guy named Brent, and I still know him. He's in jail right now. He's been stealing and robbing people and stuff like that. I told him to stop doing stuff like that, but he couldn't quit. I don't know why. I guess I wasn't I was a good influence, just not good enough, I guess you could say. And so we've been having this conversation. He's a black guy. And so we've been having this conversation about black people and why I always refer to black people as like brother. Like, what's up, brother? How you doing? If I generally see black people, out of respect in a lot of ways, I grew up around a lot more older, like a mixture of like older and younger and middle-aged black people. And so there's all these kinds of different phrases being thrown around. And so when I was a young man and I was in jail, I did about a year and a half, from about like 16 until 18 and a half, actually, man. And then, I got set free, obviously. And then during this time, though, I used to drop the N-word, and I'll be like, what's up, my Inna? Like with the GG and everything like that. And I didn't have a problem with it because I grew up with a lot of young brothers I was locked up with. I lived with young brothers. I had a bunkie that was a brother. Most of my bunkies were brothers. And so I just kind of grew up in this atmosphere and got in the habit of calling it. And there was this young man named Jimmy Hurt. And a million times, I'm not going to say a million times, but tons of times I was saying this, and there was a couple of times where he would just come up to me and he'd be like, man, look, if you keep saying that, man, I'm going to smack you. And I'd be like, whatever, man. He's a light-skinned brother, mixed, I think it was, possibly, I'm not entirely sure. And so one day, Jimmy Hurt was just like, wham, and I dropped the N-word again, and he just smacked me. And I never said the N-word ever again, right? And so Brent is sitting here, we're at the McDonald's on campus. And Brent is like, man, well, why you always calling me brother for, man? And I was like, because you're a brother, man. Would you rather me call you an Inna, man? I just don't feel comfortable calling you that. And I have this philosophy, which is what this is about, within reason, of the difference between what a brother is and an Inna is. And so he was like, why can't you just call me Brent? And I was like, man, I can call you Brent if you want me to call you Brent, man. But I just, what's up, brother? How you doing? That's naturally how I've gotten to the swing of saying things. And, when I come around, and it's not just black people, there's Asian Americans I've met, there's white people I've met that I would call brothers. It's realistically, it's a respectful thing to say to me. I don't even call my own brother. I wouldn't even say that to my brothers. I wouldn't even call my brother and be like, "What's up, brother?" I'd be like, I wouldn't even call my brothers, to be honest with you. Although I called the other one the other day, he just doesn't pick up. I think he might be a little. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. It's none of my business. And so, anyways, we had this conversation, and I walked into work the other day, and I started to tell this story that I had with my friend Brent. And I said the N-word, trying to help my boss, Dominic, at the time, help him, kind of understand where I was coming from. And I don't even know how the conversation got started. But a lot of brothers and sisters have been coming into the restaurant, and so I had seen a handful of them, and I was just, I noticed that he was, moderately cool with some of those black people, and so I was like, I figured we could just chop it up about race in America, and it didn't work out that way. He was very stern about how he felt about using that word, which I applaud him for that. When I said, I love where your head is at. It scared me a little bit later because it was like, man, do you really feel that way? Why would you fire me? You didn't even let me finish what I was saying. But